Hi there, Mansfield today. It's a Thursday, and that means it's time to travel, courtesy of our friends at Flight Centre. What we want to look at today is a very specific subject, actually, and something that I don't even know when this started and how it started and why it started. I remember the first time I ever went what they call glamping. Must have been about maybe 12, maybe 15 years ago, up to monopools in Zimbabwe. But this whole glamping thing has taken off, and we thought we'd have a look at it. Maybe the place to start, because their website deals with glamping in South Africa. Is with africamps.com, and Karina Greef joins us on Mansfield today. Karina, thank you very much for your time. Where did this all start? Does anyone know how it started and why it's become such a big part of our tourism industry?
Hi, Jeremy. Thanks so much for having me on your show today. It's like you said, you've been able to glamp say like 13 years ago already, but it's something that's been quite big in European countries for much longer. And only in the last 10 years or so, it's really become big in South Africa. It's really gained traction and become more popular. I think it's simple. It's people like to be outdoors. They like to experience nature and really get close to nature. But not everyone enjoys roughing it out and camping. So glamping is the perfect alternative. You really get to experience that closeness to nature while still, you don't have to give up the little luxuries that you need to leave at home. It's also, a country like South Africa, there are so many beautiful places for a glamping setup. And it's just so great to see how the country is really, it's just picking up so much. And I think, just the beauty of South Africa really contributes to that. So for us, it goes back about 6 years now. AfriCamps opened their first camp in Klein Karoo, and from there we just kind of expanded we're in 4 provinces now, and
I was looking through your website, africamps.com, and you've got an incredibly wide range, which is why I wanted to start with you, because we are going to be speaking to 2 very specific camps during the course of this show. But I wanted to start with you. How do you guys look, or what do you look for in a camp to put it onto your site?
So AfriCamps, we're all located on all working farms. So we've got wine farms, we've got game reserves, we've got an ostrich farm in Oudtshoorn. So we really look for something unique, a unique guest experience. We don't want, all our properties are completely different. So except for the accommodation, you'll get the standard AfriCamps glamping tent at each of the camps, but the experience you'll get at every camp is completely different. So anything unique. Also, the hosts are a very big part of what we do. They meet you and show you their farm and make you kind of a part of their world. So unique natural landscapes and farming industries is what we're very interested in. And recently we also expanded to game reserves as well. We've got a game reserve now, and we're also close to Kruger National Park. So maybe not all just working farms, but farms that give a real unique experience to its guests. And all the farms are run by the farm personnel, but AfriCamps, we produce the tents and then we go build them on the farms. And further than that, we run the reservations from here. So we've got a selection of 12 camps, and we only list AfriCamps, obviously, on our website,
Okay, because I suppose that is one of the main things in something like this. If you do know that there's a consistency as a traveler or somebody who wants to go glamping in different environments and have different experiences, at least you're getting a constant product the whole way through.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you go glamping in our camp in Oudtshoorn, you will get the same 2 bedrooms, you'll get extra length beds, you'll get the fully equipped kitchen, you'll get the rain shower, the massive bathroom. Every unit has its own everything. So if you go to the camp in Klein Karoo and you loved it, you book your next trip to the garden route and you stay in wilderness and you'll experience the same facilities, the same accommodation. The only difference being that some camps, most of the camps have outdoor wood-fired hot tubs as well. But yeah, so we're trying to standardize the expectation of the accommodation, but the experience on the farm is unique every time.
Okay, Karina, we're going to leave it there with AfriCamps because I want to go to the Northern Drakensberg now, because I never would have ever thought that there would have been tented camping available in that particular part of South Africa. But lo and behold, it is available, and that's why we're joined now by Pippa. Oh, Pippa, you have recently got married, so it's Pippa Hutting as opposed to Pippa Buchanan. So Pippa, tell us about Sassy.
So Sassy Bush Lodge, yes, tented camp in the Northern Drakensberg. We had a bit of loggerheads. You can't do this, you can't put a tent in the Drakensberg, the weather's too extreme, which it is. But
well, that's what I would. That's exactly what I would have thought. You know, I would have thought the same thing. That's why I never thought of the Northern Drakensberg as a camping or glamping site. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got the game, we've got the nature, we've got the animals, so why not? And I mean, I'm sure you know, but in the Northern Drakensberg, we've got such beautiful resorts, and we just thought we couldn't compete with them, so we wanted to put up something completely different, something unique, and yeah, I think we've been able to achieve that with Sassy Bush Lodge.
How big is the lodge and how many people do you sleep? Give us a bit more information on it. I know people can go to your website, which we'll give them later, but just give us some info.
So we're very small scale. One of the things about the Bush Lodge was, or the tented units, is that we didn't want something permanent. So our tents are actually semi-permanent units. We've got 2 couple units and a family unit. So our max capacity is 8. We were also advised to go a little bit bigger, but we kind of enjoy the small scale. It's very private, very personalized. We try and offer that experience to our guests. And also with the COVID situation at the moment, it's working out really well for us because the guests get that private, personalized experience.
I know that Gautengers are probably the most prolific travelers in the country. Being in the Northern Drakensberg, what sort of driving time is it from Johannesburg or Pretoria through to your particular lodge, Pippa?
So from our Tamba, it takes about 3.5 hours. The road's really good. They've been working quite well on the roads. So it's not too far. I actually think it's quite a decent getaway destination in terms of travel time.
And what sort of activities do you guys offer? I mean, I know that when I go away, sometimes I actually just want to sit on my ass and read a good book and just look out and see some beautiful scenery, or just be part of nature. That's the part that sort of regenerates your soul.
We can offer that. Yeah, we really do have some beautiful scenery here with the mountains. We're also very lucky. We've got some Bushman paintings in the area. We've got a beautiful cave on the farm where we love to take our guests. It's an incredible experience where the waterfall flows over the top of the cave. And then there's a beautiful array of rock art and Bushman paintings. We've also recently discovered some Iron Age ruins on the farm, which apparently date back about 3,000 years. We also sit on the area where the Kilburn Dam was built, And that's part of the Tugela Bowl scheme, where they pump water from the Sterkfontein, or from Kilburn Dam up into Sterkfontein Dam, and that water then gets released back down the Drakensberg and generates electricity. So we've got that power station's actually built into the cliffs on Kilburn Farm. So that's a really great activity to visit during the week, where you can go see the power station, which is built 50 stories beneath the ground.
Wow, jeepers. Okay,
Yes.
so plenty to do as well. That website, in case you want to follow up on it, is sasiafrica.com. It's SASI Africa.com. Pippa, thank you very much for joining us on Mansfield today. And we wish you all the best of luck at the Bush Lodge in the northern Drakensberg. Let's go down the coast now, right near to my hometown. When I found out about this, because I wasn't even aware of it. You see, that's what I love about this show. You get to learn something every single time we do the travel show with Flight Centre. A 1920s tented safari camp near Grahamstown. Rian Brandt, tell us about Quartermain's camp. When did this start, Rian, and why haven't you told me yet? Because I come from there.
Hi there, Jeremy. Thanks so much for having me on the show. Quartermain's 1920 Safari Camp is on the beautiful Amakhala Big Five Game Reserve, halfway approximately between Port Elizabeth and Grahamstown. The reserve opened in 1999. We joined a little bit later, and we opened the camp in 2008.
Okay, I asked this question of Pippa earlier. Tell us a bit about your camp and what you offer.
So the concept for us is old style of safari. We're quite enamored with the concept of the early safaris, the simplism of it. We firmly believe that the closer you are to nature, the more of a safari experience you have. So people do need to be comfortable, of course, running water, hot and cold showers, flushing loos, those are minimum requirements. But we believe there's something to be gained from simplism and sleeping in a tent in the bush, paraffin lamps, dinner cooked on the fire in front of you. For us, that's what a safari experience is about. Listening to the jackals calling, listening to the lions roaring during the night. That's our guiding concept. And we offer game drives on Amakhala Game Reserve, as well as there's an option of a horseback safari. And then probably our specialization at camp is walking safaris as well. We do shorter walks in the Big Five area where people get to experience, animals on foot. It's not focused on chasing after Big Five animals and getting everyone all scared. It's actually more about the small things. It's about the tracking, the insects, the plant life. And then we add on to that with an option where we have an overnight trail, where you get to spend a night sleeping in a cave in the Big Five area of the reserve and look out, watch the dawn breaking with a herd of elephants down at the river below. It's absolutely magic.
I know it's supposed to be difficult for anyone to answer these sort of questions right now because of COVID, but what sort of mix did you find you had pre-COVID of local and foreign travelers, and where would you like that to be? What sort of mix are you looking for?
We did find that we had predominantly internationals staying at the camp pre-COVID. I think it really fed into their out of Africa fantasy experience for safari. So we did appeal to quite a broad international market who wanted, not another hotel in the bush type concept. They wanted the glamping experience, sleeping in a tent. If you're going to do safari, you want to go the whole hog. So majority was international. We had always locals. We had quite a couple of very dedicated locals who would visit us regularly. But it is all about getting your name out at the moment into the local market. So since COVID, we've done a lot of marketing and had a great response from local people, especially on one of our unique products that we developed post-COVID, which is a self-catering option, where for a base rate of 450 Rand per person per night, and the self-catering option gives you exclusive use of the camp. So it's COVID safe in that sense, where you're not mixing with other people. You and your family unit can come through and have it's only a 6-bed camp, so it's quite small. So you can have the whole camp to yourself, and then you can add on game drives, you can add on bushwalks, you can add on horse safaris as you want. You can even add on meals if you want to off of the self-catering. But the base rate is 450, and a lot of good response with that.
Guys, thank you all very much for joining us. The websites we have discussed today, africamps.com, also Sassy Africa, that's SASI Africa.com, and quartermainscamp.co.za. Those are the sites we were referring to today. But you can also get a hold of one of your friendly flight center representatives and tell them that you saw this on Mansfield Today, and they'll gladly help you out and guide you through those experiences which are on offer in South Africa. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today, and hopefully it's given you a bit of oomph to go out there and do some glamping. Who knows, you may be walking along and somebody stops you and says, "Dr. Livingston, I presume." Doubt if that's going to happen. Thank you, guys. Until next time, bye-bye.